Hey guys, and welcome to another episode where we are going to review all the Dragon Ball Z movies up until Dragon Ball Superhero comes out in August. So we're not going to do the Dragon Ball movies. We're just going to start with the Dragon Ball Z movies since they're like the most pivotal thing to that. So this week, obviously, we're going to start with Dragon Ball Z, the movie, The Dead Zone. So see, the naming conventions were dumb then also. Yep. I don't know why it is Dragon Ball Z, the movie, The Dead Zone.
And Toyama does some weird things.
Well, I don't even know if he was doing that. Somebody was doing that. They just asked somebody and they were by like the water jug and they're like, hey, what do you want to call this? Like, we're going to call it Dragon Ball Z, the movie. I feel like that was the starting point. And then they were just like, we got to have like a subtitle. So then somebody was like, The Dead Zone. And so, but then nobody took off the movie. So we're stuck. We're right back where we started. Look at that. We end where we begin, you know?
It's a circle.
Yeah. It's a cyclical cycle, man. So this movie is, so I'm going to read the synopsis just so if you haven't seen this movie, you can kind of know what it's about. It says, in a bid for immortality and to avenge his father, Garlic Jr. collects the Dragon Balls, kidnapping Goku's son, Gohan, in the process. That doesn't tell you anything about the movie other than Garlic Jr.'s in this. You don't even know whose dad is. So I mean, it's just kind of like, I hope you know what this stuff is. So this was released in 1989 in Japan, and the runtime is 45 minutes. It's more like 41 minutes. So I guess we'll get some of the positives out of the way, things that we like. For both of us, I think like we get to kind of get a little glimpse into like Gohan's future power. So a little bit of that like, you know, stuff we're going to get in like Cell and stuff like that. You get a little glimpse of that, even though this is not like canonically in the show. You kind of get a glimpse of that. He still has his tail, like, so it's interesting. So he's kind of like aping out a little bit, but he doesn't because there's no moon. So it's like you kind of get a mix of that, which I like.
Yeah, and probably one of the most unforeseen things was Gohan peeing on Krillin.
I think that is like the highlight. So as you follow us, every movie we watch, now that's going to be my barometer if it's good or not. Did Gohan pee on something? And if he doesn't, so I can already tell you, spoilers, he doesn't pee on anything in Dragon Ball Super Broly. So, I mean, like that tells you, like, our rankings on that movie. And we haven't even gotten there. Good.
And even then, at some point, the franchise just does a complete 180, and instead of Gohan peeing on people, well, the franchise pees on Gohan.
Yes, he does. Until now, this is going to be our like redemption arc of Gohan because like Dragon Ball Superheroes is going to be coming out, so we're going to obviously review that when it comes out. But I think another thing that I like that are positives is for me is that the power levels are definitely more realistic in this movie. So I think kind of going back from where we are. So I've seen Superhero, so I kind of see like where we go there, and obviously everything we have in like Broly and everything. So it's like where we're at in this movie. Like we still have the Nimbus, we still have the Power Pole, so we still got Goku in its like very early state. And it's kind of nice just to see them fighting. You know, it's like it's 2D animated, so it's cool. Like I mean, obviously the fight is like 30 seconds, but like 'cause that was all the budget. They're like, we have no budget. We have budget for peeing and for a 5-second fight. We don't have anything else.
Yeah, like, and you figure it picks up not long after Dragon Ball ended, and that the movie takes place about a year before Dragon Ball Z actually starts.
Yeah. And I think another one of my last positives was, you know, in the Frieza saga and like all the other things, even like Kale and Khalifa, all that shit, it got so bombarded, and so I think it was like these power-ups got so long, and it's like even this like Garlic Jr. has a short like power phase, and Goku's Kaioken is, I mean, his Kamehameha is like the shortest Kamehameha. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure because it was like the runtime, but he's like Kamehameha, and he just shoots it. Like it's like 5 seconds. Yeah, it's 5 seconds and it's out. Like that's what we need. Now it's like 30 minutes. So like people are taking bathroom breaks, they're doing all this stuff, and then Goku gets to do it. It's like his Spirit Bomb. Yeah. Spirit Bomb's like 17 episodes. He still doesn't send it off. He just like, maybe he'll make it next time on Summon the Ball. That's what it is. I guess we'll go to some of our negatives now. I don't really have any mixed things. Sometimes I have like maybe some mixed. We might have some mixed things going forward. Negatives, you know, we both discussed this. Like Kami kind of being arrogant. He doesn't listen at all. He's a bad listener. I don't know what's like in his ears. Maybe it's a Namekian thing. He doesn't listen. Piccolo doesn't listen that well either.
And that's because Piccolo and Kami are the same person.
The same person. But he Garlic Jr. basically tells him 19 times, like, yo, I talked to that big ass dragon over there and I'm immortal now. And he's like, no, I'm going to blow you up. And he hugs him, squeeze him. And I'm like, you're not going to do anything, Kami. They had to pad the runtime out, so they had to get Kami being old man Kami, trying to kill somebody. It's like watching an old man trying to set up his iPhone. That's what it's like. Kami trying to fight Garlic Jr. It's just
we've gone over the step 5 times.
5 times.
When are you going to get it?
Yeah, some Piccolo's just leave him. Whatever. We're gonna go over here and prepare to actually fight Garlic Jr. You hold him for a little bit. Maybe Gohan will pee on him. The musical number in the beginning is garbage, and I think that leads into the score overall just being kind of bland. I mean, it's the first of these movies. The music definitely gets better when we're shouting Gogeta a bunch of times, so you can see where we're going. It gets awesome. So but this is just kind of bland. The end song is garbage. Yeah. I mean, I love J and K-pop, but this was just bad. It just was. I don't know. It wasn't great.
As soon as it came on, we had to
we cut it off. Yeah, I was like, well, that's it for that. But like I said, overall, I mean, I think it's a fine first foray. Obviously, there was 3 movies before this. Those are Dragon Ball movies. This is our first Z movie. I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's bad. Some of these are bad. This is not Bio Broly bad. It's not that bad. It's not the second Cooler movie bad. So I mean, we're gonna get to some bad Dragon Ball movies. So I mean, I think I had fun watching it. It's just not a lot happens. That's the problem with a lot of these movies. Is it's kind of you get 20 minutes of villain setup, and then there's 5 minutes of fighting. And so that's you're there for the fighting, but there's no budget. So they're just hey, we got to squeeze this into 5 minutes. So
and they're figuring, when we watched this probably as kids, the movie was great.
Oh yeah, all these movies were awesome.
Yeah, but now rewatching it, obviously it doesn't hold up as well as what we remember, but at least what they did with this movie. Since it is one of the few Dragon Ball Z movies that are canon, is they included somewhat of a conclusion of it in a filler arc in Dragon Ball Z later. Yeah,
so I mean that at least is good, and like I said, I think just looking at it as a whole, I think this is a good thing. We're both roughly around the same age. It's it's good because I'm it's nice to kind of look back at this. Yeah. I've seen this show so much that it's I don't really need to take a retrospective on the show itself, but I think it's interesting because we're in more of a movie territory now where we're getting movie, which I prefer to an anime anyway, because I'd rather have the manga there and then get a cool badass movie every couple years as opposed to a poorly animated arc of a movie. The beginning of Super is a disaster, but so I'd rather not have that. And if that's if they're gonna bring out the anime, it needs to be awesome. It needs to be on some level. They need to produce that whole anime and then just put it out, not do it week to week, because that was rough. So I don't know. There's rumors that it's gonna happen, but like I said, I think a lot of the issues is that the Dragon Quest show is done by a lot of the same team, and it's in its slot, and there's a lot of people doing other shows. So I think until those end, and the Digimon show is done by a lot of those lead animators. So until those two shows are gone, which they're supposed to both end in October this year. So that's the rumor. So maybe next year we'll have an anime. I don't know, but I don't know how to feel about it. I feel these movies have been so good that I need at least the last 2. Yeah. I mean, these have been so good that I'm I would rather just have cool Dragon Ball stuff, every couple of years. I guess if they want to do the mangas, that's the only way to do it. But now we're past that, so we're past Moro, we're past all that. So I don't know where you go if you start a show again.
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know what you do. So I think that's why I'm conflicted, because I like these short stories where you can, if we flip flop every other movie between here's a Goku Vegeta Broly movie, and that's the power is just going to get quite crazy. You can take some what the manga's doing and put it in there, and then maybe another. The next movie is maybe a lower budget movie, but it's like focuses on some like alternative characters, especially now that Gohan and Piccolo are like back.
Yeah.
They're back. So like maybe focusing on them. Pan, Trunks, and them are grown up now. So I mean, you can do a lot with Goten and Trunks. So I feel like that's kind of, we're in a good spot. But, all right.
What did you think about Garlic Jr. as a villain?
I mean, he's pretty bad. I'm going to say, so we're going to do a system which we're going to put in place now until we get to kind of like the resurrection of Dragon Ball, which is going to be Battle of Gods. So like 2013, like Dragon Ball was basically dead, and Battle of Gods was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I'm going to be excited to talk about that movie. Resurrection F, not so much, but Battle of Gods is awesome. Like that reinvigorated me even as a fan. I've always loved Dragon Ball, but that kind of got me back into and I was like, holy crap. I remember going to see that movie in theaters and like not knowing I didn't even see a trailer. Like my friend was just like, hey, there's a new Dragon Ball movie out. Let's go see it. And I was like, okay. Like I'd been like such a dormant fan for so long. Like, and I saw it and I just left and I was like, where's that been? Because it's literally the coolest thing. I was like, even you can say what you want. Dragon Ball's cool, but like, that is way cooler than anything that happened before that. Like, the budget, the scale, like, it hadn't been done at that level.
Which it does have its problems, which we'll get to.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. But, so on a scale, we're going to do this up until that point, in which we'll probably change because that kind of changes. We're out of, like, the original Dragon Ball Z movies, and we're into, like, the current arc, I'd say, of Dragon Ball or modern Dragon Ball. So our scale on villains is going to be from Pilaf to Cell. Yeah. So Pilaf being like the bottom of the barrel. Like, do we think like it's going to be a rating of do we think this villain is better than Pilaf, or is he better than Cell? So Cell for us is like the pinnacle of old school Dragon Ball Z. He is the best. Like he is the biggest threat. And yes, some people are going to say Frieza. We've discussed this thoroughly. Yeah. Frieza was on Namek. He really didn't ever threaten Earth too much until later on, until modern Dragon Ball. Cell was there. He killed he killed Android 16. What a dick. Android 16 is awesome.
Yeah, which Cell paid dearly for that.
Very dearly, man. Android 16 is my favorite Android, unless you want to count Super 17. Super 17 is garbage.
That's in an area that we don't like to talk about as Dragon Ball fans.
We will talk about GT though, because I do want to talk about GT. I think there are merits to GT, like only Super Saiyan 4. That's basically, and only Goku Super Saiyan 4. But so where would you put it on this? So from Pilaf to Cell, where are you at?
I'd say Garlic Jr. is much closer to the Pilaf level. Like, well, without the immortality, Yamcha could probably beat him.
I think Yajirobe could.
It's possible.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think without that piece, which I think they even do that. They're like, we got to bring Shinron in, So I'm with you. I don't think he's quite as annoying as Pilaf. Like, we'll go on record. Pilaf and the Oolong Gang are the worst. Like, they're the worst. Like, in Dragon Ball, they're fine. Like, he's fine. Oolong's, God, they're so terrible in Dragon Ball Z. Like, I just want to murder them. I'm glad they are gone. Yeah. Like, it's like, that's the one thing. When, like, Battle of Gods happened, Dragon Ball got slightly more serious, at least. And so it's like, I like that Goku's still somewhat goofy, but I like that the show is more, like, a little more serious. And you have your, like, goofy moments, but, like, a lot of that crap is gone. You get that more now with Beerus and Whis, and that comedy is more within them, and Bulma's still like that. But you don't have, like, them running around. I mean, I guess they are in Super, but
I actually wouldn't know about that one, but but I do remember Pilaf being at the beginning of it, GT.
Yeah, well, I think because they're at the wedding. Remember when Beerus comes? They're at the wedding, running around with Goten and Trunks for that little bit, like. So I mean, I'm kind of with you. I think he's slightly better than Pilaf, only because Pilaf is garbage, but like maybe by a tick. If there is a graph, he is like one tick up from Pilaf. I I don't know if we're gonna get close to Cell. We might. We'll see where we go. I don't remember every villain, so we've been trying to think of these. I'm trying not to like peek ahead. I really want to like look at these as we're doing them.
So the third movie that we end up reviewing is going to be interesting because as a kid, like Tree of Might was like my favorite movie, but the Turles is basically like evil Goku.
Yeah.
The first time that we see like an evil version of Goku, basically.
I think Turles gets kind of like burnt out also because he's in both Xenosaga, so it's like not Xenosaga. What is that game? There's Xenosaga, right? Xenoverse, not Xenosaga. Yeah. Xenosaga also a great game, but Xenoverse. They're in both. They're in both Xenoverse games. He's in both Xenoverse games, so he's like in those. So you're kind of like, okay, yeah. He's fine. I think he's cool then, but
we'll find out if he's still.
We'll find out if he's still cool. Like I said, I haven't seen these movies. I think I watched a handful of these like a couple years ago when I picked them up again. But I mean, I handpicked the ones I wanted to watch. I was like, it was when Broly was coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this first Broly movie again, and I'm gonna watch Bio Broly, and then I fell asleep during Bio Broly. So I think that's kind of where we're at. So as we do these, they'll kind of be around this length, depending on. I think the more modern movies they're obviously a lot longer. Yeah. We're probably going to have more to discuss about because that has more implications on actual Dragon Ball now. Mm-hmm. These have no implication on Dragon Ball now. It's more retrospective than anything. So, I mean, that's kind of all my thoughts that I have. I think it's fine. It's not a bad Dragon Ball movie. It's not a great Dragon Ball movie, but I think it's a good first foray in our Dragon Ball Z era of movie. So, we're going to do a scale from 1 to 7 Dragon Balls as a rating. I know that's a weird rating. So you can figure out what 3.5 means. I don't know, but what's your rating? How many Dragon Balls out of Dragon Balls are you gonna give this?
I give it a 3 for it being basically the first Dragon Ball Z movie. Yeah, so they were really sort of taking a leap of faith with that one. Now we get to see the potential of Gohan. And we're going to see Gohan peeing on Krillin, which no one would have expected that to happen. But I did have to docket some points, though, for the musical number with Gohan being drunk or whatever he was after he ate some fruit from Garlic Jr.'s tree.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this scale works like we start at a 7 and we go down. But the max score it would have ever gotten would have been a 6, just based on that. It started out being like, okay, this can never achieve a 7. No. It's already started at a 6 for me. And then after watching it, I'm like, okay, now I can balance this in the rotation. So I'd be with you. I agree. I think it is a 3, a solid 3. I was at a 2.5. Gohan peeing on Krillin. I'm with that. That gains half a Dragon Ball. So I'm with you there. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of it for this one. I mean, it's an inaugural episode. Like I said, stay tuned for more of these. We'll have these, going into Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which will date these episodes, but I think it'll be good. You can watch these on your path to whenever you watch it, or when you rewatch it. Yeah. Whatever you want to do this way.
And episode 2 will be The World's Strongest, correct?
Yes, because Tree of Might is the third one. So yes. So I guess look forward to that one whenever it's out.
Yeah. And if you will want to watch it along with us, then you can find the list of the movies in their order, and then essentially about what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, and luckily it's like not a huge time sink. So like some of these are half an hour, 45 minutes. So it's not like I said. I would recommend watching these before you listen to these, unless you've already seen them. But rewatching them, I think, is the fun part about what we're doing, is kind of rewatching it up to where we get now. So, I think that's all I have. So, I think we did okay for our first inaugural episode. Like I said, we're expect way more from us in the future. We're going to be doing a lot of these and a lot of different stuff. So, big anime, Dragon Ball. Stay tuned. All right. Till next time.